Absolutely.
And understand that these people are walking around and trying to make a living and raise their families and be happy and do all the same things that you are. And, you know, if everybody was empathetic and reached out and helped each other, we wouldn't have to do this kind of thing.
Right.
We wouldn't have to do outreach education.
If the majority of the people in the country were understanding and understood what it was like to not be like them,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be doing this.
And you know what? We sort of have a perfect perspective for this, which is an interesting thing, because it's so easy to not see things like this. It's so easy to be blind to this, and you know, coming from a place where I was once something akin to being a man, I was perceived as a man even though I wasn't. I like to say I walked among them, and I basically was behaving and for all intents and purposes from the outside I appeared to be a man, even though on the inside I was a woman. But I lived among them, and from that perspective I can say that I didn't really get the kind of discrimination that women are subjected to in this country.
Yeah, you sort of understand it intellectually, but
you don't really
you
get
don't
it.
really
And
get it.
You get it now?
Until you wear a woman's body. Yes. Yep.
And so I can say that, that for, you know, and that's one of the things that's really interesting about this, is this would apply to anybody, or just about anybody. I think until you've actually walked in somebody else's shoes, you don't see it. You may have an idea, but you don't really see it. And
There's a great video that we used to use in school. And it was about this beautiful teenage girl. I mean, she was smart and popular and had everything, and she was from Stamford, Connecticut or something like that. And they made her up, and they added like 150 pounds to her, and put her in a brand new school as a new student, and then followed her around with a camera and watched the awful ways that she was treated for being simply fat.
yes.
Okay? And it was awful. And she agreed to sign on to this project with the security of her history. Never realized what she was in for, because she had never worn that body and been subjected to that kind of harassment before. It was a wake-up call. And once we showed this to the kids, they said, "We've done that. We've seen that.
Guilty, yeah.
Yes.
We know. Yeah, we know. We do. We know somebody who's done that." And it was really that whole thing about now all of a sudden you get to walk in that other person's shoes, you know, and that's what this whole thing is all about.
Well, I've had so many jobs in my life because as a white educated female, I was overqualified for just about every job I ever applied for after college, because I had been teaching since the day I graduated from college. I had been working in retail already at that point 5 or 6 years. I mean, no matter where I went, whether it was management, whether it was secretarial, I'll take anything, give me what you got. I was overqualified. So I lost, you know, and that's why I've sold shoes, I've sold appliances, I've taught microwave cooking, I mean, whatever it took. It's survival.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the caller's point has validity, that when it comes to decision making, majority rules. But on a day-to-day basis, living as a citizen in the country, there's sort of a moral justice that has to come into play, where you care about how your fellow man is treated, how your fellow people, your fellow citizens in this country are treated.
And you know, senior citizens, we pay for education for children. We all pay taxes.
I pay, yeah, and I don't have any kids.
We have
you
a
know?
very child-centric society, and for people that don't have, can't have, don't want to have children,
You don't have a choice.
That's a strong, unfair point.
Right.
But there is a common good. There is this benefit to society overall of having educated children.
Or
You know?
if you send your kids to a parochial school, you still have to pay taxes.
Yeah, you still pay the
for
Yeah.
taxes.
public,
Right.
you know, on top of the tuition that you're paying to go anywhere else.
So to extend that, there's a public good to making sure that you don't have groups of the majority oppressing and taking advantage of minority groups.
Absolutely, and we are out of time.
Okay.
Before we go, I just want to say thank you so much to you guys for coming.
Oh, thanks for
And
having me.
Oh,
once
thanks.
again, April 10th
This Saturday.
Saturday.
This Saturday.
Saturday night,
It's the Art for Life.
Mystic Arts Center.
And,
9 Water Street from 7 to 10.
yes. And
Thank you.
The 24th of April,
24th of April,
The Williams School, 9:30
Human
to.
Library Project.
Yes.
Yep. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. And we'll have you guys
Thanks,
on again,
ladies.
please.
Okay.
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Night.
It's not a risk to become who I